Do you think we use the wide areas enough? Because I know for a fact that we don't cross as much as we should. And then again, I don't want to emphasize on crossing because we're not one of those teams that really heads the ball a lot, and we don't have those kind of players. Except for you have Griezmann, obviously, and when it comes to corners, we have our centre backs. But do you think we should be crossing more?
Um, I don't think we should, mainly because of what you said. We don't have the kind of players to do that, on a consistent basis. I think the only time we'll be able to convert those crosses are off corners, with the likes of PK or Longley or even Araujo. Um, like, because their center backs are pretty tall, but I don't think we should be crossing more. At the same time, I feel like our only threat in attack when nothing is going right for us is that cutback from Alba. Like, the amount of times I've seen teams this season just like flood that left side up, like PSG did that. Like, the amount of times teams have just flooded that left side and have cut that cutback from Alba, like, we've actually been really poor in attack.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
so
I've
we have
noticed.
seen.
Okay,
Sorry,
go
go on,
ahead.
Ali.
So I've noticed that with Alba, he tends to stay back and he doesn't go up as much as he used to either. Like he does occasionally move up, and I think on average the guy doesn't really move as far as Griezmann does. So I think they both kind of have an issue because even when Griezmann plays in the half space, he doesn't move wide enough, and we don't really have a left winger to do that either. When Dembele is never been an issue because that guy is always, he's always sprinting to the far corner, and then he sometimes cuts in and he shoots from outside the box and stuff. So that's not really an issue. With Alba, I think, because people often used to say that, okay, he's not the best defensively, and Alves wasn't either, but he does help a lot out on the offense. For example, his link up with Messi. But this season, as actually, you know what? The past few seasons, offensively and defensively, he's not really been, like the PSG match, for example. He's been, how can I say it? He's been like below average. And when I say below average, I don't mean our below average. I mean below Liga average. So when you compare him to any of the other average La Liga player, he's not up there. We could do way, way better.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, he's definitely not at his best. And I think that's mainly because teams are figuring out that we're really dependent on that left side. And more so, I think, like you were mentioning with Dembele, like providing that width on the right side or left side. We're good on that side, but I feel like we need more width on the left side, and that's where um, Fati injury like hurts us a lot because at the start of the season when he wasn't injured, like that left side was very like open because they had to deal with through like two threats of Fati and Alba. So
Yeah. But I don't really think it's what you said about teams figuring us out tactically from the back and Alba. It's not that. I just think Alba is not intellectually there. He's not there. He wasn't really ever. But now it's a bigger issue because when the midfield isn't that midfield anymore that we had a few years ago, then attacks are way more likely. And Alba has never really been the smart type of player to be in a position. When should I run back? When should I run forward? When should I stay where I am? So I don't think it's to do with the opponent figuring out what how we really play from the back. How Alba really functions. It's just one of those where the surrounding players are not that level anymore. So Alba's getting more exposed regularly.
yeah, no, that's also one of the reasons. Like there are many factors here, I guess.
Hmm. Yeah, Jalal, what do you think?
I think we have seen some crosses work from Alba. I know, like, hear me out. Alba is the worst player in the world. Um, you know, to be honest, he might be right, but we've seen his crosses work with Griezmann in recent times. Where you see a cross coming from the top and Griezmann takes a header. I can't recall the latest game he did that in. I believe he.
I think it was the Granada game. where we made the comeback. I think that was like one of the few games this season where Alba has actually done like
Yeah,
really
that's right.
well.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think it
yeah.
was with Sevilla as well. I don't think we crossed from the left hand side until like the last 10 minutes or something along those lines.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, look, I think it's gonna like I'm kind of going back towards the whole Koeman point. Like what we think of Koeman. I think he's done a lot of good things, like in terms of integrating a lot of new like young players, with the likes of Pedri,
Mm-hmm.
Araujo, Mingueza, Dest as well, and etc. And I think Ricky Puig is also playing a lot more now than he was at the start of the season. Um, but
Still not playing enough.
still not playing enough. And the whole thing is, I think Coleman needs to be a bit more consistent with his decisions because I feel like in certain games, I don't know if Ali is noticing this as well. Like in certain games, he just throws like three, four subs all at once towards the very end, and then
Yeah,
there's just there's
it's a
just no
big
tactical
issue.
setup.
Yeah,
There's
and
just
I've
no
seen him
tactical
say as
setup.
well. He says later on that he didn't see a need for a change. I think he said something along the lines of this was recently as well. He said
Hmm.
the team was playing quite well, so he didn't see any need for changes. And then suddenly he brings on four players at once. It makes no sense. And look, I'm not really fond of unless we're winning. I'm not really fond of bringing on a play in the 87th minute or the 88th as if that's going to make a difference either. Because it's often players that play out wide. It's not a game changer player like putting in a striker in midfield or one of those, subbing players that could maybe capitalize on a cross and head a goal in. It's not one of those. With him, it's the players that should come on in the 60th minute, he puts them in the 85th or something. So it
Yeah,
makes no difference
like
whatsoever. He's been really, really poor. You can say whatever you want about his tactics with the starting lineup, but with subs, that's probably like one of his weakest sides.
yeah,
That's
and
been a
like
problem with
yeah.
the last three coaches. I think with Barca, what they do is something's going wrong, and the 85th minute, 88th minute, everything past 80th minute, some person's supposed to come in and do magic and change everything around.
Like
Yeah, but the thing is, with Setien, he didn't really have a squad that he could work with. When I mean that, I'm talking about a transfer window like Koeman had. He didn't really have the players he needed on the bench to make a change. In the future. So Koeman has had that luxury. He's had a transfer window. He's been able to get the players that he needed to get, and we've signed a few under him. Um, so I don't really see it as a fair comparison. I'm always defensive of Setien, and like I'm 50-50 on his dismissal because the 8-2 it was embarrassing. It's one of the biggest embarrassments ever in the
Hmm.
Champions League. But I don't think it's a fair comparison to make because simply because he came in the middle of the season, he didn't play a game until very very late. Again, meaning we had a long long break because of Corona, and then he had an unfit squad. So I don't think it's a fair comparison. I just
no,
think,
I think I agree with you on the Setien thing. Like I think he had everything stacked up against him. It
yeah,
was it
true.
was it was really bad for Setien that like we had to make that emergency signing with Braithwaite. Like that's how bad our squad was in terms of
Yeah,
like the amount of injuries. And then you add COVID to the whole thing, but I just think it's tough to stay when you lose 8-2 like and the way we did it. Like I
yeah.
feel I
That's
feel
why I'm
bad for
50-50.
Setien. I feel
Yeah.
bad for Setien, but at the same time, like losing 8-2 and the way we lost it, because I remember watching that game and we kept trying to play out of the back, even after we were down 3-1 or 4-1 and it wasn't working. But
Hmm.
he still wasn't willing to change his approach to that game, even in the second half. And I think the two times we scored that game, we went long because Bayern were playing that high line. So I think like it's tough to stay after 8-2.
Yeah, that's why I'm 50-50 on the matter. But I just wanted to compare it to Koeman having a squad
Yeah, fair enough.
where he's got players on the bench that he brought in, and then he decides to make a sub really, really late. It makes no sense whatsoever.
I think like the main thing I'm gonna say about this season, and it applies to Coleman and it applies to a lot of our players. I think in terms of the squad, I think we actually don't have a bad squad in terms of what we've had in recent years, in terms of like age and etc. I still think we need a striker and a center back and a left back. But the whole thing, the squad is lacking right now, I think, is consistency. Like the amount of times like we've slipped up like a draw or a win because of like stupid individual errors or like subs Koeman has made and etc. is actually insane. So I think like we're not a bad squad, but I think we lack consistency. That's the main
I
thing.
I personally think that so the youngsters Pedri, Fati, and Puig, they've really been the players who have had the most chances given from coming from Barca B and stuff. But when it
Don't
comes
forget
to players,
Araujo.
yeah, sorry. But then again, I mainly mean, wait, when did Pedri join us?
Pedro joined us. I think we signed him like January or something. If I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I
Okay,
think we signed him in January from Las Palmas, and he was anyway meant to join in the summer.
then yeah,
I
you're
I,
right. You're
I
right.
could be
Araujo as
wrong.
well.
I could.
Yeah.
Yeah, Araujo has actually been solid, and I think like I don't know. I would usually trust Longley, but for some reason this season he actually hasn't been great for what I
Hmm.
thought he was.
Yeah, I
Um,
agree. I agree.
so like I love PK. I think he's one of the best center backs to play for our club, if not the best. You could argue that, but I think he's also a bit past it. So I would definitely consider Araujo to be a starting center back at our club.
Isn't it
Oh
quite
no, never,
like
never for
tragic
me.
that
You wouldn't start Araujo?
all these young players?
Yo, Alex,
Okay,
you
Sorry,
wouldn't
so
start Araujo?
what I was saying is I would not start anyone, maybe most defenders in the world ahead of PK. If we could sign any centre back, most of the centre backs that are available, not even
Hmm.
available, most of the centre backs at any club, worldwide, I would not start ahead of PK because PK for the past few seasons he's been he's been at the helm of the defense, and whenever the others around him have failed, he's been the one who's been getting the most criticism. So this is what I was going to touch on before. With our fullbacks, whenever our fullbacks are this weak, our centre backs are what you know, and even the game against PSG, none of the goal PK's fault, and Busquets was getting the criticism as well, and he barely had a fault in it as well because I think it was a final goal that he got a lot of criticism for. Was it the counter, the final goal, Mbappe's final goal?
Yeah, it was a counterattack.
Yeah, and he got like, okay, Busquets has always been slow. I don't get this obsession about pointing out how slow he is or how rusty he is, how he's an old man. No, he's always been slow. He was never a fast player, and this is why I was gonna say because
no, the
I want to
quickness
repeat.
doesn't have to do with his pace necessarily. It's just the way he makes his decisions.
No, but the
He was
thing is,
always a
Busquets.
fast decision maker, though,
No,
right?
yeah, Busquets did not put a foot wrong when it came to passes. He was
No,
winning most duels.
PSG,
Same
he
with
was
PK.
fine in my opinion.
Yeah, that's what I
Look,
mean. And he was,
I,
and my point is this, that the players around them are failing. And these guys are getting the most criticism. Why? Because they've been there for long. And why? Because they're old. People like to use this
I
as an
I feel
excuse.
like I feel like this whole Busquets pace argument is coming into play, and you're right. He's actually never been fast. I don't know why
Yeah,
people think like he's been fast, like under Pep or something. He's actually never been fast. The whole reason why we're seeing his pace get exposed is because teams are hitting us more on the counter because
exactly.
everyone else around is
Exactly.
failing. You know,
Yep.
we're losing too many balls, and that just gives other teams the like a chance to hit us on the counter.
Yep. And
So
who should we often rely on when we are hit on counters? It should be our fullbacks. If the fullbacks are inverted fullbacks, or uh, especially when they're not on their wing, on their side of the corner. You know, it should be our fullbacks that we should be relying on as well. And this was my point before, because before we signed Dest, I was saying we should not be signing Dest. And look, people say he was quite promising in his first few games. Okay, any player can have that kind of effect in his first few games. Not any, but I'm saying he did well. But I'm saying, it was exaggerated the way
Wait, so
people were
you're
talking.
saying that it was Dest's fault in PSG against
No, yeah,
Mbappe?
I think Dest's inexperience and Pedri's did a lot of damage
No,
to
but
I
Dest
us
think
against
it
PSG.
wasn't Dest's fault, to be honest, man. I think if you watched it like closely, I think Dest was doing a good job. like obviously you can't hold
I have
back a
to
player like
kind of
Mbappe.
agree with Jalal here. Like in the first opening minutes of the game, Mbappe was actually on the left side.
Yeah,
Like he started off on the left, and I think Dest was doing a decent job of containing him. I think towards the end, I mean, after those first opening few minutes, I think Mbappe switched to the middle and was mostly on Longley or PK. Um, and I think Kurzawa started attacking more down that left hand side. So I agree with Ali in the sense that Dest lacks that experience, and so does Pedri. But at the same time, with the options we have, like it was either we played Dest there or Mingueza. So
No,
if you're gonna,
the issue, yeah, but this is what I'm trying to say because Dest he barely touched the ball in the half. You know, he barely
Mhm.
touched it. He played around 70. How many minutes? 70 minutes.
Yeah, around
And he
70
barely
minutes.
touched the ball. In their half, he barely touched the ball. And what do we need? We need players that can play up, play follow up, play, link up with Dembele or something. But
Yeah,
he's not the type of player to do that, especially against PSG. And
I
I'm
feel
not
like
saying
yeah,
I'm not saying that the goals that they scored were his fault. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is he did not offer anything offensively. You know,
yeah, but if you
he
went offensive, then we would have considered a lot more goals in the first half.
no, not necessarily because
not
he barely touched
necessarily.
the ball.
Yeah,
He barely saw the ball.
like see, here's the thing. It's gonna hit back on consistency again. There have been games this season where Dest has actually done well attacking wise,
I
right?
agree. Yeah,
Yeah,
There have been games. He just needs to be more consistent with it. How old is he? 19 or 20? I'm not even sure.
I
Like,
think he's 20. I think.
yeah, like I'm not gonna try and hit blame on a 19-year-old. I think this is his first season where he's like been a proper starter, and I think he's kind of been unlucky with the fact that Roberto's been injured for quite some time, so he's had to play a lot more than I think he's expected. Now, I'm not trying to say like, like that should sugarcoat that he should be better attacking wise, but the fact that he's a 19 or 20, like he definitely has a lot more to learn, and like I think he'll eventually start doing better. Like
maybe
No, I
he's
agree.
being made
Yeah,
to look a little bit like worse than he might be at the moment. I'm not like
yeah,
not in terms of
there's
because his
definitely flaws in
pair
his game.
like the side he's paired up with I think this time it was PK, right, that he was playing with.
Yeah. See, and also what I don't get is I'm all for PK playing. I think based on our current squad, like Ali said, he should start, without a doubt. Like I'd start him and
Yep.
Araujo right now, without a doubt. Um,
no, look,
but
the thing is, I agree when you guys say he's inexperienced and it's not his fault. The issue is he should never have been bought. That's what I'm trying to say. Not at
you
this
don't
point,
you
because
don't think okay at this
no,
point is what you're saying.
yeah. So what I'm saying is, even before he was signed, I said no. You know what? This is not the player that we should be signing, because at Ajax he had. I've watched him at Ajax. I've watched him for a full season. At Ajax he had some good games, but most of them he was like average. He was like the
Yeah.
average 27-year-old who's playing for an average side in the league. That's how he
Yeah,
was.
like
And
the
yeah,
good thing with Dest is that, right now he's young. If
yeah.
it was like a player like Semedo, I'm not sure how old Semedo was, by the way. I think with Semedo, he was given a lot of chances, but I feel like with Dest, he could only get better, and I'm hoping he does. But I
Hmm.
agree, we maybe got him a bit too early, but I guess
So
you
we
have to
did
live
need
with.
a right back. Who would you go
We did.
for?
No, no,
Look,
we did need a right back. I'm not denying that we didn't need a right back. You play with what you have. We have Dest now. We might as well like use him, right? Um, but
No, I'm
I
just
feel
asking
like
hypothetically, like who's the perfect
who would you get? I mean, what isn't there that guy at Betis, Emerson? I feel like
yeah,
you know
he's pretty good. And
I feel like Emerson would have been a good choice.
yeah. So
sure,
look,
yeah.
I just want to clarify. When you are playing, uh, when you're a club like Barca and stuff, yeah, and you're playing at the highest level, you do not go and sign a player that was not even the first choice right back most of the time at Ajax. You don't sign a player
Yeah,
like that and then expect him to, prosper a right back for Barca. That's Koeman's fault because I'm pretty sure Des would not have joined. And the issue is Des was never a star player at Ajax. He never was. Frankie was. De Ligt was. Ziyech was. Dest was like
True.
he wasn't unheard of, but because he was so young and playing for Ajax, people overhyped him. Look, people are gonna look at my criticism of Dest and say, I'm just a hater and stuff. No, it's nothing like that.
No,
Frankie
you
did
bring
it
up
for
valid points.
yeah, Frankie did it for 2 seasons. De Ligt did it for 2 seasons. Ziyech's been doing it for years, and with Dest, that was never the point. Uh, the thing is, we should have signed a right back who's experienced, or he's promising, and he can be young. He can be 22. He can be 23. But we signed a 19-year-old who was not the first right back choice, playing for Ajax in a much weaker league. That's the issue, and the
No,
planning is what cost
yeah.
us.
No, I
And
definitely
especially
agree
when,
with you.
yeah,
I agree with you on that point, but I guess, he's here now and he's shown flashes of what he could do. So I guess you
yeah,
play with what you have. And like hopefully like he becomes a bit more consistent attacking wise and also like
yeah,
defensively, obviously. But I guess you just live with what you have for now.
yeah. Honestly, I would have preferred Smedo or Roberto on right back ahead of him. If we had to
Hmm.
choose between this season, prior to him joining us, if we had to say, you know what, one more season of Semedo or one more season of Roberto, then I would have said no. We will go with we'll go with them, not Dest.
Hmm. Interesting.
Well, we hope to see Sergino Dest at his best,
Yeah.
Yeah,
hopefully soon.
hopefully. I hope so because I did praise him when he did well in his first few games, and I said, you know what, maybe this can be something promising, but it ended up the way I expected it to be.
Yeah, let's see. I mean, he actually didn't play too bad this weekend. I watched, like, sadly, I watched the game. Like that's another thing we have to talk about.
Yeah,
Um, but like he actually wasn't too bad this weekend. I think defensively, I know Cadiz isn't like the best team to compare how good your defense is,
yeah,
but he wasn't bad. I think that one error from I don't know if you saw it, that one error from Longley like really cost us those 3 points. And
The penalty?
yeah, the penalty, like Cadiz were sitting back all game and then they go
I
up
just knew something
once,
was gonna go wrong in that game at the
like
end.
they attack once, and they get a penalty off that one attack. At the same
Yep.
time, it shouldn't get to the point where, you know, it's the 85th minute and we're only up 1-0 against Cadiz. And that too, the goal was a penalty, right? So it just tells you like where like there are a lot of issues right now which need to be fixed.
Okay, so let's talk about since we're on that topic, Cadiz, uh, about opportunities taken. We had I saw a stat 20 shots and 4 on target. And from what I saw, like a lot of those chances were pretty cut and clear. Again, I don't want to sound like I'm attacking Messi because I think I did that in the beginning. Um, a lot of people were blaming Griezmann for the pass that Messi made. People said that it was Griezmann that missed it. What do you guys think about that?
Hmm. I don't know, man. It's look, I feel like I'm repeating myself. I just think we need to be more consistent. That's all I'm gonna say. Like we're missing a lot of chances. And like, there was a phase during the season where we were actually converting them. And like now it's got to the point where we're not converting them. So I don't know, like just a little bit more consistency, and I feel like the season would have actually been a lot more better. There have been a lot of positives this season, but there've also been a lot of negatives. So
yeah,
yeah.
and it's because we don't have a pure striker either. We don't have a pure nine with us.
Yeah, we definitely need a striker.
I
Um,
think Fatih was doing a good job at finishing a lot of the chances we were
Yeah,
getting
yeah, he
at the
definitely
beginning of the
was.
season.
I don't think when
Fati,
he left is when we experienced a lot of problems
yeah,
with finishing.
Fati was doing a great job, right? So I don't know. I wasn't expecting much heading into this season. You know, like I've kept my expectations pretty low for this season. I've like the Champions League. I think was a huge ask. Even last season, forget this season. Um, so I didn't have any hopes for the Champions League, to be honest. I think our best bet this season was the Copa del Rey, and I still think it is. I think winning the league again, like the whole consistent to win the league, you need to be consistent, and we haven't shown that at all.
This was the chance, man, with Atletico tying, losing
We had the
points,
chance. We had the chance to go like
then
6.
losing.
Yeah, but like we need to make a few signings this summer, and hopefully the right ones. You know, with Bartomeu, we made a lot of signings.
Yeah,
But
and with that, is floating players as well.
yeah, and we need to get rid of a lot of deadwood. I think last summer we got rid of a few deadwood. I love Suarez and what he did for the club. There's no denying that. But letting him go to a team like Atletico was very stupid, and it's biting us back right now. But like if we
Yeah, you know my
sign,
stance. You know what my stance is on that. Everyone does.
yeah, I
Wait,
like
what's
I
your
know
stance?
Bro,
Jalal doesn't.
the fact that you're even asking, bro, every single person knows my stance with Suarez and letting him go. I was screaming it for seasons, for seasons. It's been
No,
like 5 seasons almost since people started criticizing him.
yeah, Ali
2017.
is Suarez's biggest supporter, bro.
Yeah, that's
Biggest
right.
biggest freaking
Anyway,
supporter.
do you
And
guys think that we will make a comeback against Sevilla?
um, look, it's hard because I don't see us not conceding a goal, bro.
Mhm.
Like
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
I don't like. It's gonna be really hard for us to keep a clean sheet.
Yeah.
I think there will be a lot
And
of goals from us. That's my prediction. I know it's stupid to throw
yeah,
those out
like I know what I'm gonna
nowadays.
say right now is like, but if Sevilla get that one goal, what is it? We have to score 4. Like, do you think we have the players right now to score like the starting lineup to score 4 goals? Like,
No.
I see
Look,
what you're
we can
saying.
all three of us. We can pretty much rule PSG out. Okay, so we don't even need to discuss that.
yeah,
I'm pretty
bro.
sure we can
Like,
Wait,
say,
I'm not ruling it
yeah.
out. Come on.
Okay,
no,
I
bro.
am.
Come on.
You can be yourself.
I'm ruling PSG out. I
Yeah, you
think
can have your
Okay,
imagination.
okay.
because
We don't
see,
even
here's
need
the
to
thing with
discuss that.
like, look, this PSG game, by the way, there's no Neymar or Di Maria. Okay, um,
Mm-hmm.
I think both of them are back for the second
No,
leg.
I'm not sure about Neymar, but I still get your points. It's
I
not
think,
possible.
yeah, I don't, bro. If it happens, that's just gonna be like, I don't know what the heck I'm gonna do.
What's
If they,
worse, if they return and then we play them at their ground, that's going to be even worse. And
yeah,
anyway, let's move back to Sevilla. We've
yeah.
not gone,
Anyways,
we've not gone 8 games with a clean sheet. So
yeah,
we've conceded a goal at least in the last 8 games.
yeah.
And
So
to think that we're gonna manage to keep a clean sheet against Sevilla, nah, I think that's impossible.
speaking about the Sevilla game, we do play them in the league this weekend before we
Yeah, we
play
do.
them in the cup.
27th, 27th,
Yeah,
I
I
think.
think we play them this Saturday or Sunday. So I mean, you can't get a better warm up, I guess, for a game like that, like playing the exact same team. Um, Normally I'd say if we were home, we have a chance. But I mean, we are home, but I think having no fans, like the no fans factor is definitely a huge thing. So I I want to rule out mainly because I don't see us keeping a clean sheet. So I don't think Sevilla is possible. But we definitely have a higher chance than them against PSG. There's no
Okay.
doubt about that.
Yeah, what I see as possible, I think we've got 2 games until that fixture. So
Yeah, we
I think
play Wednesday.
we will, yeah, I think we will concede 1 goal, but somehow I've got this feeling that we will be able to score 4 goals. I do think it's possible. I don't think it's possible to keep a clean sheet against them unless we really, really get our shit together. And I
Hmm.
don't think we will, I'll be honest. But I think that for some reason, somehow we'll be able to get a few goals. But then again, I'm also getting this feeling that we're going to go into the match optimistic, 2 good results before the fixture, and then suddenly we're going to concede 2 goals in the first half.
Like,
So you never
see
know.
that's the thing with this season, right? You actually don't know what to expect because
Yeah.
there hasn't
Wishful
been
thinking, man.
like there hasn't been
No,
any consistency.
yeah,
Like,
but you can't blame us at this point for thinking like this. It's
yeah,
just
like
been it's been a roller coaster.
Yeah,
We win
like
5-0 and then we lose how much? 5-1 and then we lose
4-1,
4-1.
like
Yeah,
exactly. Like, bro, like I'm sure like we're all big Barcelona fans here. There's no
yeah,
denying that. And like we want to see them make a comeback. There's no denying that. But at the same time, like you have to be a bit realistic.
yeah.
So like I think hopefully Araujo is back by then because I'd rather like Araujo and PK at the back. I think that would be pretty good. Um, which could maybe help solidify our defense a bit more because Longley again has been inconsistent. So I think we'll win. I think we'll win next week, but will that result be enough to see us go through?
If we want to
I
luck
don't
out with
know.
at least one trophy by the end of the season, we need Araujo back ASAP. That's
Yeah,
it.
I don't know how much Ali has been watching this season, but like I don't know if you've seen how good Araujo has like
No,
he's
I
actually
agree.
been.
Yeah, he's been pretty good. Yeah,
He's
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 been really
been
good.
he's been really good. So
Yeah.
I think him and PK would definitely be a really good partnership at the back. But yeah, no, let's see. I'm optimistic, but I'm also like a bit realistic at the same time. So
When are we expecting him to come back? I think he won't be back until the PSG game, will he? When's the PSG game?
no, I think he'll be back for this weekend. I think we posted it or I saw it somewhere on Twitter that he's hoping to be in the squad for this weekend versus Sevilla. If not, then he'll be in the squad for sure
Oh,
for the
okay.
next
Because
one.
I read somewhere it was around March, March the 8th or 9th, something like that.
Yeah, no, I think like I'll double check, but
Okay.
like I mean
Hopefully.
the guy was
Yeah.
such a beast he was willing to play against PSG. So like the
He was
first
willing to
tie,
play
the
against
first
Bayern last year.
yeah,
He was
so
kicking the shit out of seats while he was watching Barca get
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
so
humiliated.
yeah.
like
That's the kind of mentality we need. We've made for a long, long time.
yeah, so I think we just posted like 2 hours ago. It was like the Javi Miguel guy or whatever, who's pretty reliable actually, said he's expected to be present for the match against Sevilla on Saturday. So
Oh, okay.
so it's like fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Obviously I'd rather him be there for I mean the thing is now with how the league is, with because Atletico actually have some tough fixtures coming up. So like I think there's the Madrid derby in a few weeks. So, you know, the league may
I
not be
expect them to
over.
be, yeah. I know. I expect them to be slipping up more. I think they've
Yeah,
had a good run, but if we get our stuff together, if we get shit together, then we can beat them. And
yeah.
then
I mean,
we
see, the
can,
thing
yeah,
is, like, we have a tough game to Sevilla away this
yeah,
weekend, and right now, because I think Sevilla won today, we're fourth. We're
yeah.
we're
We are
fourth.
fourth. Yeah, that's
We
right.
are we,
We're a
yeah,
point
we are
behind.
fourth in the league. So, I guess you have to take it one game at a time. Because if we lose to Sevilla, we'll go four behind. Um,
Yeah,
keeping in mind that we still have like a game midweek. So like it's too early, I think, to think about maybe
yeah,
winning the league. But I think you're right about the fact that Atletico will slip up more because they had a good
yeah,
run, but it's gonna be like a bit more challenging for them now.
yeah. And one of the things is we do play them away, so it's going to be hard to play them away in La Liga. But
No, we
then
play them
again,
at home. We play them at
no,
home.
we,
The first time.
no, no,
The
no. I'm talking about La Liga, the upcoming game.
oh Sevilla.
Yeah, yeah. We play them
Oh,
away.
okay. I thought you were talking about Atletico. My bad.
No, no. I'm talking about Sevilla.
Yeah,
So,
we do play them away.
yeah.
But
So I
but hear me out.
expect.
I feel like with the games this season, home and away actually doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, it doesn't. I know. I think that substantially we are a little better at home than we are away, but
Hmm.
I don't think it makes much a difference. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
It doesn't make too much of a difference. But
Yeah,
let's see. Like Sevilla were actually on a good run as well, but I think they lost to Dortmund recently, so maybe like they're a bit inconsistent. Hopefully, so
The weekend game
let's
against Sevilla is going to be a huge indicator for both La
for what
Liga and
yeah
Copa del Rey, actually.
for what's to come midweek. So let's see. I had my expectations low for this season, but if we could get the cup, like the Copa del Rey, I think with everything that's happened, on the pitch, off the pitch, if we end up with the Copa del Rey this season, I feel like that would be not a bad season, considering we went trophyless last year.
Yep.
So, like
Anyway,
it'll be
boys, let
it'll
me
be
ask
an
you a
improvement.
quick question before we wrap up. Okay.
Go right
So
ahead.
I'll ask each one of you. La Liga, Copa del Rey, Champions League. Do we stand a chance? Yes, yes, no.
Jalal, you want
No,
to go
maybe
first?
no. So you can go
Okay.
first,
So
Adeeb.
okay, I'll go first. I think we stand a chance in La Liga. I think we're out of the Copa del Rey, and I think we're out of the Champions League. How about you, Jalal?
It's a no for La Liga, maybe for a Copa del Rey, and a big no for Champions League.
Adeeb?
I think we'll all agree on no for the Champions League.
Yep.
Copa del Rey, I think yes. I think we have a chance. La Liga, I'm gonna say maybe. Mainly because consistency, while as the Copa del Rey, it's one game. So, let's see. It's
So
not
pretty
like
much we all agree
the
winning one.
Champions League. Yeah, we all agree that we could at least end this season with La Liga or the Copa del Rey.
Yep.
So
How
that's
I
the
think
mighty have
we're
fallen.
underestimating how Madrid likes to come in and swoop sometimes. I'm talking about Real Madrid. Like they could
Yeah.
actually clutch the La Liga this season. I'm kind of scared about that.
Yeah, I am. They win it twice in a row.
Madrid, on
Yeah.
the other hand, actually have a lot of injuries. Like quite a bit. I think Ramos is out, Benzema's out, Carvajal's out, Valverde's out. Like they have a few injuries, but I'm in the back of my head, I'm like these guys could still potentially
Yeah,
win the league.
Carvajal has been pretty bad recently anyway, and Ramos has been nothing special in the last few seasons.
I don't know.
Oh,
I might he's been pretty good. He's been pretty good. But I think we have a game in hand over Real.
no, yeah, over Real we do. But even if we win that, then we will still be a few points behind them.
Yeah,
I think
but
right now how many points are we behind the leaders, Atleti? I think we're 8 points. Yeah.
8 points.
Yeah, albeit tough jobs. We just need them to lose 3 times, and we just can't slip up anymore.
I
It's
mean,
been
we
too many
do
times.
play Atletico once, and
Yeah.
there is the Madrid derby.
Yeah.
So, those are 2 games where they could potentially drop points.
It's gonna be close. It's gonna be close this season.
It's gonna be close. So let's see.
Yeah. Anyway,
Anyways,
thank you everyone for joining us, and we'll catch you in the next one.
yeah. All right, peace.
Peace,
Bye.
easy.